Here we have a question from Don Adrian. Let's see what he says. Good morning, my brother. My name is Adrian and I live in London, but I'm from Ecuador. I converted to Islam on February 6th of that year, and I love feeling close to God, but I have problems with my wife because she thinks that Islam is a false religion. She has every right to think that. It's just that that's how they were taught. That's how it was instilled in them. That's how it got into their heads. People involuntarily receive and listen to teachings. They absorb it, and it becomes part of what a person believes. You, for example, I ask you, what are the ISIS? Like, you say horrible. What are the Taliban? Like, they are horrible because neither you nor I have ever lived with the Taliban. But everything we've heard about the Taliban, that they are dangerous lunatics, failures, mentally challenged, dirty, bearded, with lice in their beards, who never bathe, and who all have 4, 5, 6, or 10 wives, and when they want to talk to their wife, they first hit her, things like that. So, it's true. All of us are affected by what we've learned on social media, and that's true. And she has every reason to think that way about Islam. So the problem isn't with her, it's with social media, which poor thing has seen all her life, where she has come to know that Islam means ogres, terrorists, bearded men, ogres with beards, who are ready to blow themselves up shouting, Allah Akbar, Allah Akbar. So, your poor wife thinks that tomorrow they're going to hand you a weapon, and that somewhere in London you have to blow yourself up shouting Allahu Akbar like a crazy person. That's how she thinks. And poor thing, it scares her, it scares her. So she says that, according to us, we worship a false god. And that's what the Protestant church teaches her. They say that Muslims worship the moon god, some god I don't know, the sun, Lot, Auzo. They are lies that they invented themselves and spread in the name of Islam. Lies. So, according to her, it's not the same God as Abraham or Moses. According to her, she gets married to what many say on the internet about worshipping a Baal, the devil. Well, because they, the Orientalists, invented falsified narratives against the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, just like they invented many narratives in the Bible against all the prophets, saying that they were all evil. And the same goes for the Prophet of Islam. So she says, it would be very generous of you if you can send me a message, or better yet, make your next video about this topic. Here I'm sending you a link that talks about this. I'm sorry for the trouble, but I don't know who else to ask. With pleasure. That's the question we need to ask Sheikh Qomi. And now, let's move on to the part of the response. So we've said she has every reason to think badly of Islam because that's how she was taught. Yes, exactly. So you are against her teachings. So how should we approach her? If I were in your place, I would never say that I converted to Islam. I would say, I want to return to the path of Jesus, to the religion of Jesus, because we follow Jesus. The path of Jesus is the path of the Prophet Muhammad. Peace be upon him. It's the path of all the prophets of God. So, once you emphasize the difference between Islam and the path of Jesus, that person gets scared. Say we are different from everything they have taught her. The religion I have accepted is to worship the God of Abraham. It's to follow Abraham. The founder of that religion is the Prophet Adam, not Abraham. Prophet Abraham called us Muslims. Muslim means a person who obeys God. We have struggle against the ego. Yes, it's the jihad. Jihad is the effort that a believer makes against their ego, and against the enemy. An effort to purify your soul. So the struggle of a Muslim is against the devil, and through that they reach the blessing. So tell her, I love you very much, and know that I will be with you. I will never get close to terrorists. Islam is the path of peace. But poor thing, she's being affected little by little. We have to teach her. And it's going to be difficult because people don't like to risk their lives. And she, poor thing, thinks she is losing. You're doubting what you're doing. She thinks that tomorrow you have to go to Pakistan so they can teach you how to become a terrorist. Tomorrow you have to hide a Kalashnikov, a weapon, under your bed. And tomorrow you have to bring those backpacks that are filled with bombs. You have to learn how to make a bomb. Oh my God, when people see me in Latin America with a turban and everything, a lot of people often say Bin Laden, they say Osama, they say Sinbad, they say terrorist, Mr. Bomb. Many times they called me Mr. Bomb, and they say Allahu Akbar, and to the people, any attack, you say Muslims did it. People bring it up in the West, yes. Muslim terrorists, even in The Simpsons, as a joke, there was a joke about a Muslim being in the US and was making bombs. But at the end of the movie, to kind of soften the theme, it showed that he, Muslim, has the job of planting bombs in old buildings. It's like a way of reconstructing old houses. He plants a bomb in the old house, it comes down, and then they build a new house. That even The Simpsons is showing the same thing. So it's normal for her to think that way after so much Islamophobia. For example, one movie I recommend watching is called Four Lions. Four Lions is one of the most poisonous movies that exists. I've also seen that it insults the truth very badly, saying that all Muslims who say we are peaceful, deep down, are all terrorists. One of the worst movies they made. But Muslims are always quiet in the world. They will never file a legal complaint against those movies. If they had made that movie Four Lions against the Jews, surely the Jews would have used their lawyers to defend themselves. But we are there, quiet in the West, watching how they are destroying and defaming Islam and the Prophet. Just to wrap up, I'll give you an argument to present to your wife. Let's see, darling, if all Muslims are terrorists, a quarter of the world's population are Muslims. If Muslims are terrorists, then a quarter of them are terrorists who only learn how to blow themselves up. So, where does all this wisdom, knowledge, and scientific development in Muslim countries come from? Yes, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Turkey, Iran. Many countries are Muslim with a lot of scientific development and knowledge. If these people are not about peace, education, a normal, intelligent life, wise with family, a man of the family, contrary to what Islam has taught him, it's the path of love, being faithful to the wife. That is the path of Islam. Islam teaches us that a woman is not a sexual toy. Islam teaches us that a woman will be a mother. The most sacred human being on earth is the mother, because the only person who can work alongside God to bring forth the most valuable product on the face of the earth, which is the human being. The man is going to serve the woman because the woman is pregnant. In Islam, it says that all material responsibilities, the maintenance of the woman, are the man's responsibility, not the woman's. What does that mean? In other words, the woman is admired. She is served by the man. A man has to dedicate his whole life to serving the woman. So once a person understands the status of women in Islam, the importance of women in Islam, then they will understand why Islam is the best. That's why the West, those who follow Satan, are worried that people in the West don't know about Islam, so they themselves are going to put puppets. For example, Al-Qaeda was trained by the CIA, the US, Al-Qaeda, Taliban, to fight against the Russians. They have nothing to do with the state, nothing to do with it. It means they are trained by them, by the enemies. Everyone is against us. We are victims of terror, victims of the terrorists. And if it was against us, The only group in the world that brought peace to the world was us. The Iranians, the Lebanese, the Pakistanis, the Afghans. We were the ones who resisted against ISIS and liberated the world from that ISIS demon. That is to say, our relatives from our cities. The brave men resisted and liberated the world from ISIS. The children of Satan terrorists who fought against Al-Qaeda, against the Taliban, against the terrorists. We are always at peace. For us, it is forbidden to produce weapons of mass destruction. In Islam, the Holy Quran says that the sin God will not forgive is killing the innocent. Whoever kills a single innocent person is like killing all of humanity. So a person who plants a bomb cannot be a Muslim. They can only be a mercenary, a puppet, or a fool. What religion did Hitler have? The evil one? If you say Christian, then let's go, all Christians are like Hitler. That's not true. That's not true. So saying that, well, Muslims are like this is not true, it's not fair. I recommend you read the Quran, travel to an Islamic country like Iran. Iran is a very cheap country now. For you who live in Europe, Iran is a very cheap country. Very, very safe. The safest country in the world. Security doesn't come from the police. It comes from the kindness of the people. People love foreigners more than anything. The Iranian people have a special love for foreigners. You would say foreigner, everyone respects you. The religious person and the non-religious person. Iran is very interesting. The people of Iran are very hospitable. Come to Iran. Once you visit Iran, you will change your mind and understand why the cradle of modern civilization is Iran. The Islamic countries, they are the wise Muslim scientists. May God bless you. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.